Yeah, match 2 on day 4 of the South Island Premiership Hockey. Chris Goldsberry joining me in commentary, and this is Burnside High up against Otago Boys. What are your expectations? Tough game for Burnside, is it?
Yeah, it will be. Thanks, Leslie. Great to be here. Beautiful day in Christchurch as always. Yeah, Burnside High maybe struggled a little bit this week, but they've got nothing to lose, so they'll go out there and they'll give it a good crack. And Otago Boys have played relatively well throughout the week, and after a big come from behind win against St Andrews College yesterday, I'm sure they'll be pretty excited to get back out there and see how they go this morning.
Burnside have got 4 Year 9s in their side, so big rebuilding phase for them. And as we know, the change in the physical appearance between Year 9 and Year 10, or even Year 12, is massive. Yeah,
and the last few years they've actually performed really well at a school level. Performed really well at Rankin Cup, and a couple of their New Zealand under-18 players are now a little bit too old, so they've had to rebuild. And yeah, you do find those years are a little bit tough, but no doubt they'll be willing to put in the effort today.
Well, Otago Boys, very well drilled side. You can see they're wearing the pink socks, and of course that is for anti-bullying and a signal that they accept diversity in their school. So good start from them. Very good structure early on from Burnside. It's just going to be the accuracy, isn't it, of the skills under pressure. A lot of talking already, as you'd expect.
Looks as though Otago Boys have pushed up their captain, Daniel Tor. Normally plays through the midfield, and he's starting up in the strike line today. So looks like they're keen to score a few goals today and see how that plays out for them as they get the early ascendancy and just look to hold the ball and move it around the back and find some space as Burnside look to put on a relatively high press against them.
And if you've been watching this on Sky Sport Next, and you took in the Columba College match, and you took versus Craighead Dice and 4-1 Craighead over Columba, already though in the opening stages of this match you can see the difference in the pace. But that's not to take away from the skill of the girls, because their close skills are very good. And this is an early opportunity for Otago, and there it is. Look at that, 1-0 already, and we've had 1.5 minutes of play. And that is very quick.
Yeah, well executed goal there from Otago. They get the ball and some great skill on the baseline and a nice little receive and just a tidy little finish. Doesn't have to be the strongest, but slipped it past the goalkeeper there and into the goal to take an early lead just on 2 minutes into the game.
Very composed and knew exactly what they had to do. Burnside, they're going to come under a lot of pressure if they're going to have to shut down the ball carrier very early. They've got control of it already, haven't they, Otago Boys? Now an opportunity for Burnside. Just need to find the teammates and get some passing movements going, get some early confidence.
Yeah, and you'll see Matt Wilson there, number 16 from Burnside, playing through the middle of the field. He's a premier player in Christchurch, plays for the Harewood Club, so he will direct the traffic and try and create some things for Burnside, but they're going to try and have to get the ball off Otago, which in the early stages seems to be relatively tough to do.
Oh, nice claw back. Yeah, where's the opportunities? Oh, he just drifted away, his teammate, didn't he, from where he needed to be to connect up with that pass, and he was under pressure. 3 players around the Burnside ball carrier. Oh, another chance in the circle. They're deadly inside the circle, Burnside. And penalty corner time. Gee, the pace and the intent of Otago is huge. You're laughing. You think it's amazing.
Oh, I'm enjoying it. Yeah, they've got a couple of strikers nice and high in the circle, and they're looking to get to them relatively early and stretching the Burnside defence. And after that early goal, they've got another chance through the penalty corner, and it looks as though the captain, Daniel Tor, who from all accounts has a pretty good drag flick, will look to fire one in.
Well, let's see what they can do. This is such a critical part of the game these days. And at the goal now, and another one. That might just confer with the other umpire, and stroke, yes, didn't do it on purpose, but was in front of the goal, would have gone into the goal if it hadn't hit his foot. Is that how you see it?
Yeah, a tough one. I think he got a little bit of stick to it first, and then it rolled onto his foot, and he did well, the postie, but yeah, unfortunately, if it hits your foot and it's going to go into the goal, then a penalty stroke will be awarded, and captain again, Daniel Tor, will look to convert. I believe he converted one yesterday on full time to beat St Andrews, so...
Oh, I gave him no chance, did he? The goalkeeper had no chance. That is very, very good skills. And 2-0 already to Otago boys. And I like the way that the two umpires conferred. He gave a penalty corner, looked over at his fellow umpire and said, no, that's a stroke.
Yeah, it looks like they're radioed up to each other, so an easy way to communicate there. And good to see that the decision was made by both of them together. Teamwork from not only the teams, but the umpires out there, which is good to see.
Yep, third team. Now, Otago on a mission, pouring the pressure on. Well drilled. Otago boys coached by Sam Young.
Yeah, not a bad player himself, Sam. I've played against him over the last few years. He's been playing for Otago when I've played for Canterbury at the National Senior Tournament. So it's good to see that players that are still active in the Premier Comp give back to the school competition, which a lot of the teams do have at this level. It's great to see that the boys have, I guess, got a few role models, and maybe some of these boys might play against them in the weekends as well. So no, it's really good to see Sam giving back and coaching the team, and he's doing very well with the team. Yeah,
well, Otago boys, of course, former black cap cricketer Craig Cummings in charge of sport there, so he tells me yesterday in chatting to him they've got 7 hockey teams, which is magnificent. Of course, he's got 2 boys in here, Zach and Jacob, coming in this Otago boys side as they feed more ball through to the striker. So it's good. That's what you want. You don't, if you're going to build the game, you want to have teams coming up behind and the future.
And they're a very, very good cricketing school as well, which no doubt helps with Craig being there. And I think Jacob, who's in Year 12, was the joint player of the tournament at the Gillette Cup last year. So great to see that he's got his summer sport locked in and his winter sport, a couple of sports that you know pretty well, Leslie. And it's great to see that, especially at school level, it's so easy to be able to play the summer and winter codes, and great that they can do that for the school.
Oh yeah, balance is better, no doubt about that. I think Reece Mario was the other player that was the Gillette Player of the Year from Stack last year. Now Otago boys eyeing up that goal again into the circle, looking to force a corner, get a long one.
Yeah, the Burnside boys look like they're going to have to do plenty of defending today, and after those early couple of goals, they seem to have found their way a little bit more, which is good, and hopefully they can steal some ball and create their chances at the other end.
There's plenty of space to get the ball from defence through to the midfield, to the strikers. Glorious conditions to play hockey in. Really good turfs out here at Ngāpunawa, and the overhead conditions, while it was a little cool to start, big frost, but you know you're going to get a stunning sunny day, unlike Tuesday, which was a heavy southerly buster. The players did well to get through it. Now trying to build Burnside through the left side.
Here we go, finally getting to some position down in the attacking half of Burnside, and hopefully they can start to create a little bit more, but Otago did well to cut that out, and again they'll attack.
Lots of space. That's what makes it so attractive. Fawkes now delivers the ball forward. And again, a speculative shot. Boy, it was a missile in there of their stick. (2-0) Otago boys. Early goals. They look onto it. Just a strength thing, isn't it, in the end? Big learning curve for Burnside. Good hassle though, delaying the pass. Just good umpiring too, play on. He was probably going to get the free hit anyway, but he had the ball. Oh, good tackle. Good speculation. Well shanned for Burnside High. Wearing 10.
Yeah, and he's one of the players that's been around for Burnside for a few years. I think he might be in year 12 now, and played since he was year 9 in the Burnside High first 11. So he's got plenty of experience. A couple of those years playing at Rankin Cup, and he's one that might be able to create some things along with Matt Wilson through that midfield, and see if they can get themselves back into the game with a goal to get things excited.
Now Burnside with an opportunity. A little flick back. Can he find his teammate who'll get the free hit? What can Burnside do with this? They've moved at 5. Now can they get in there and have a shot? Good, clever stick work across the face it goes. And in the end, very good defence. But they've still got it, Burnside. They need to deliver. And corner called.
Yeah, some great work by Matt Wilson there with the initial shot that was very well saved, and was able to pick up the rebound again and just use his tight skills there to earn Burnside their first penalty corner, and another chance to get themselves back on the scoreboard, which may be a little bit against the run of play after Otago have created a lot, but would be a good reward for them for just hanging in there. And looks like Matt Wilson will receive at the top on his own and see if he can get one going towards goal.
You know they would have done a bit of work on the set-piece play, so let's see what Burnside can deliver from that penalty corner. Straight shot, and opted to go left. Under pressure, skewed the ball round a bit.
Yeah, Will Shan there just trying to hit that near post and just got a little bit too much on it, and then over the sideline as then Otago get back on the attack, and looks like Zach coming looking...
Still with Otago, and clever, strong wrists needed for the roll round, but they get dispossessed. Hey, they look pretty lethal when they get the ball forward, Otago boys. Partly because of the pace and the accuracy of their skills.
Yeah, their speed of the pass is very good early on, and as again they look to go pretty direct through the middle of the field, and Daniel Tor, their captain, again looking to create up front.
Well, they've done well, Burnside, to mop that up. They delayed the ball going into the circle, able to get a few more players back in defence. But for how long? Now he's taken the ball 5, has he? A wall of Burnside sticks. Good work, Burnside. Oh, nice. Subtle, soft hands. Doesn't always need to be crash and bash. Some promising movement.
Couple more minutes left in the quarter as Otago continue to hold the ball. They're doing really well to hold the ball at the back, and just waiting for the space to open up as they look to go through the middle of the field. But Matt Wilson again cleans up for Burnside and brings them back onto attack.
Yeah, just a couple of paces too far, that last pass. Yeah, it's the speed through the midfield being able to deliver that ball. Might have wanted a little less whistle on that occasion to keep going, but it's a hard call sometimes from getting the hack, you know, pulling it up early. Yeah, so quick. Oh, look at that. And out, says the umpire over the back line.
Yeah, looks like Angus Foulkes there looking to use his skill down the baseline and create some things, but just ran out of space as Burnside now look to outlet the ball and create, but Otago just seem to know where they want to attack and are able to get numbers in and dispossess and then just come straight back through the middle of the field.
Whoa.
Shot on goal there, looked as though from Matthew McDonald, just goes high and wide, looking to grab a third just before quarter time as Matt Wilson gets on the ball deep in his own half and just tries to find some space, but the Otago press is looking very good, getting numbers in the right area and just seem to be able to cut the ball out wherever Burnside want to put it.
Oh, lovely touch on, and just out of reach, but the idea was absolutely right. Yeah, Angus Foulkes, talking about balance is better, Angus Foulkes is in the first 15 as well as the first 11. So how about that?
Two winter sports, and
yeah.
To be honest, it doesn't happen too much in Christchurch, but I know that a couple of the Timaru boys last year played first 15 and first 11 during the winter, and obviously Otago do as well. So it's good to see that the rugby boys cross over and play a bit of hockey, and he's doing well to control himself out there and looks as though he's a pretty skilled player as well.
Absolutely. So we go to the first quarter break. It is Otago boys who have put away two very good goals and they lead Burnside 2-0. So plenty more to come. You would suspect that Burnside would have had some promising movements as well, but they've got to get something from it.
Yeah, that early onslaught, they just couldn't quite stay with Otago there, but they've been able to start creating a little bit and had that penalty corner, which didn't quite get on target. But no, they're starting to build and create, and I think first and foremost, if they can just stay nice and tight as a defensive unit and pick up some turnovers and attack from there, then they'll be able to threaten Otago. But yeah, when Otago get that ball and start coming direct through the middle of the field, they're looking pretty dangerous.
Yeah, the speed, isn't it? And it's just being able to play regularly at that pace together. And that's why it's so good that they're playing in this tournament, this South Island Premiership hockey tournament. More fortunate than other areas of New Zealand, so grateful.
Yeah, there are a lot of South Island tournaments that usually go with school sport, and hockey's one that doesn't have a South Island tournament. So this will be quite a unique experience for them, and I know everyone who's turned up is pretty keen to walk away as the South Island champion. But it's great that we can have this in hockey and have the South Island champs, and might be the last time we have it for a while, but it's still a great experience, and yeah, I'm sure they'll be enjoying themselves wherever they're playing and whoever they're playing against throughout the week. And there'll be some pretty tired bodies, no doubt, because it's their 5th game in 4 days.
Exactly. And as we've already mentioned, having to contend with variable seasons, 4 seasons that Christchurch always throws up. 21 day, 3 the next. Rain, hail, sleet and snow.
I had the joy of driving to Timaru on Tuesday morning and drove through the snow. Yeah, didn't really prepare for it, but
got there in the end.
Got there in the end, yeah.
This is a good move by Otago boys. They've lifted the ball aerially, and it means that Burnside now have to get the ball out of their left side defence. They're always going to go right. It's a good exit ball. And more importantly, it's onto the Burnside stick. Nice teamwork up that right side. It's promising. Got all the work to do though, Burnside 2-0 down. They've looked so lethal, Otago boys, once they get inside that 22.
It's great to see Mike Rakowitz on the sideline there for Burnside, their coach. His son Jaden was a past member of the side maybe a couple of years ago, so it's great to see him still coaching, and he's heavily involved in hockey in Christchurch, and a passionate man who's spent a lot of time with the Burnside team. So,
oh, this is the opportunity through some good hassle up the top. Can he get the shot away? Oh, what a finish. That is being able to be not only Johnny on the spot, but to be able to put those skills away. Didn't quite beat the goalkeeper first time, but Chris Goldsbury, that is magic. Yeah,
captain again, Daniel Tor, with a great individual goal. Worked hard on the press to turn it over, as we see the replay, and he sort of blindsided the Burnside defender and did well to backtrack, and a tidy finish after trying to chip the goalkeeper. A little bit cheeky there, but picked up the rebound and slammed it home. A great goal.
Wow, just shows you how you just cannot afford to take your concentration levels off 1 ounce. And of course the reverse stick trap, which he was able to procure the ball in the first place, lethal. So strong. Plenty of chat coming away, a lot of instruction.
So here we see Burnside getting themselves into their attacking zone and trying to find their way into the circle, but the Otago defence, just like their attack, looking very solid in this second quarter, and out to a 3-goal lead now, and looking to continue to put the pressure on. Doing really well on the turnover ball to counter away, as we see them break through again and play the ball down quickly from defence to attack.
Again, so organised, potent in that circle. Get the ball across. Oh, that is knowing where to be in the right place. And even though it wasn't the hardest of crosses, but it is about being in the right place. You have to practice and practice those.
Yeah, a great striker's goal there, just hanging on the left post, and Daniel Tor, the captain, grabs a first half hat trick. So the change from the midfield to the strike line for him has paid wonders in this first half, and Otago just continuing to attack and pile on the pressure.
Yep, pouring it on. You know, we've used all the words like lethal and potent, and they're showing every piece of that. Burnside just have to hang in there, don't they? They've just got to keep backing themselves on the little scraps that they win and being accurate. And look, the other thing about this year being the COVID year in 2020, and what it does give, you know, what you would term, say, 5 or 6 years ago, maybe even a decade ago, the non-traditional hockey schools and how they're coming through, the likes of Kashmir, the likes of Burnside. How wonderful, you know, James Hargis from Invercargill, how great that they are able to mix it and have a look at, see what the standard is, the requirements.
Yeah, absolutely. I think because there's 12 teams from the South Island all participating in the same tournament, you don't often get that at the top tier, so it's great for some of those schools that might be in, say, Tier 3 or Tier 4, that get the opportunity to come to the Premiership tournament and play against some of the more well-renowned schools. And hey, sometimes the score lines are a little bit one-sided, but you're going to be better for the experience, and especially these Year 9s from Burnside in 5 years' time, they'll probably think back to that year and utilise that experience as they finish off their school hockey careers.
Well, I remember, it's probably, when I think back now, it's probably a decade ago, Bede's going up to a Wellington tournament, St Bede's, and getting hammered 10-0. And look where they are now as a school in terms of Christchurch hockey and boys. And who forgets that first match against Otago boys, the 10-0 drubbing? Just as a parent, I've never forgotten it, and I'm sure the boys haven't. But look what it does to build up a sport in a school.
Yeah, that's the beauty of the school sport environment. You'll get some schools that continue to produce the quality sides, but then you will get yeah, the likes of Beads that have come up from, I think they were had a great progression, Johnson Cup, and worked their way into India Shield and won India Shield last year. And obviously they can't play ranking, but they're at the top of the South Island sort of tournaments and top of the Christchurch competition now, which is great to see. And hopefully they can stay there, and a few other schools can keep pushing themselves. And the more schools that do that, the better the competition gets, and the better everyone gets at the game.
And we all know that secondary school sport's cyclical as well, and so there will be undulating rides for it always. You just have to be lucky on which part of the ride you're on and enjoy it while you're there.
Yeah, I think back to the Shirley boys teams of the last few years that maybe have struggled a little bit, and then you go back 10, 15, 20 years when they had the likes of the Shaw brothers and the Munt brothers, and they were winning Rankin Cup titles. So it's good to see them competing pretty well within the local competition. And yeah, sometimes you have to rebuild and refocus, and hopefully there's a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel once you've done that.
Absolutely. We all know that in the end it comes down to personnel and who the influence is in the school and what structure they can put in there, and the response of the athletes themselves. God, they've used this a couple of times, Burnside, and it works well, but they need to find the players up front. But little gains. And you've got to try things.
Yeah, good use of the overhead there from Burnside, just trying to I guess they haven't had much success along the floor. Otago seem to be in the right areas, so try and play it over to them and see if they can create some space another way.
Oh, doing beautifully. Up that right flank, holding his own. Having to mop up to the young players for Burnside, working well. Well, what can Burnside do now? Can they get it in the right place? What an acute angle to get a goal from. It looked as though the Otago boys said, well, that's not mine. It must be the goalkeeper's. Don't usually score from such an acute angle, do you?
Yeah, it's a great skill work by Will Shand there coming in, and it looks as though he was shaping to pass and just slipped it through the near post, and the goalkeeper I think was caught a little bit off guard, but a great finish there by Will Shand, and good reward for Burnside.
Does it go between the goalkeeper's left boot and the upright?
Yeah, it looked as though it did, yeah. He was sort of shaping to maybe cut out a cross ball, and Will Shand was just a little bit ahead of him and slipped one through the near post. So
that is a stunner.
Yeah, great finish there by Will Shand, and 4-1.
There we are, isn't it? How you can come back and from nothing grab a goal. And that will serve as a little bit of angst, I think, for the Otago boys. Not that they probably think they're in danger of losing the game, but just that they have made an error like that. Because I know as a goalkeeper you wouldn't want to be letting one in between your left boot and the left upright. But anyway, it's happened, and they're on the attack again, our Otago boys. Gee, they've been so good. Doesn't matter where the ball is in the field. And defensive pressure relieved with the free hit.
Yeah, again, Daniel Tor working the baseline and using some 3D skills, but the Burnside defence are up to the task that time. Didn't allow him to get a shot on goal.
Landon Webb wearing shirt number 2 for Burnside, 13 years of age. Got the ball out of that left defensive pocket. Oh, cut off this time. Now they've got another opportunity, Burnside. Reading the play. Where's the cavalry? Need the support. Shot in. Oh, and he just missed getting a stick to it as well. Long corner, I think.
Yeah, again some great work from Burnside. I think it was Will Shand again looking to create and putting the crash ball in, and the striker just in behind the Otago boys defender, but a little touch there, kept it away from them, but Burnside continuing to apply some pressure, and it's good to see.
That's a good tackle.
A lot of teams could drop their heads at 4-0 down, but it seems as though Burnside have gone the other way. But here come Otago again.
Oh, that would have hurt. Oh, just questioning the height of the ball for Burnside. Clever. And they get the free hit.
Just on 3 minutes to go in this first half. Burnside again looking to use that overhead well and just working their way down the field. They don't have to go down the whole field at once. They can work in small patches, and they'll be looking to see if they can create another scoring attempt after scoring that first one.
Pressing forward again in numbers. They've always got numbers when they go forward, Otago. Look at all that space. Just getting it out of the mess of the players. Happy to bat it around the back till a little gap opens up. Here's one. Look at that. Finds the striker and trapped beautifully. Now that caught that one in the face. They come up off his stick, up onto his Noah Craw. Done some good work out on the right there as well. Is it Noah Craw or is it Daniel Roog?
Looks like Rogue there.
Yeah, he's done some very good work. For a 13-year-old.
Yeah, one of the young members of the side, and taking a bit of a ball to the face. So hopefully he's okay. Physio Sean Wilson looking after them there, and the Burnside boys lucky to have the services of Sean. His son Matt's in the team and has been with them. I think he's had another son in there, so he's been with them for a while, and always good to have a physio in your management team.
Oh yeah. How will this half be finished for Otago boys? They've enjoyed the space because of their strength on the ball and their ability to deliver the ball at speed. And mopping up anything like that. Touch away. Straight on to Otago's stick. So a couple of possession turnovers. Those 3D skills impressive. Oh, look at that. That's magic.
Yeah, Matt Wilson through that middle of the field, just looking to create something again for Burnside as we enter the last minute of this first half, and they'll be looking to see if they can steal another one and reduce the deficit once again.
Well, they've done well. They've certainly showed more enterprise in the second quarter, haven't they? And more confidence in their ability. Look at that, rushing in. Cap caught a little foot. So a free hit just outside the circle. Can only be 20-odd seconds left in this quarter. Bit of urgency now. Two blocks in a row. Oh, look at that, just slightly overran it. Oh, clever work out here on the left. Learned a lot through the week, have Burnside. And that is the halftime hooter. Growing in confidence, Burnside, but the work's been done by Otago boys, and they lead Burnside High by 4-1.
Yeah, very good half of hockey there from Otago boys, putting themselves 4 goals to the good thanks to their captain Daniel Tor with a well taken first half hat trick. But Burnside High School doing well to get one on the board through Will Shand. So 4-1 half-time, a convincing half from Otago, but Burnside I think will be relatively happy and created a few chances. No doubt they'll be looking to bring in a few more in the second half.
So let's have a look. It is through Hockey New Zealand competition time. So Chris Goldsberry 4-1 up, Otago Boys High. What would the expectation, what would the coach be saying to his team for the second half?
Yeah, look, I think they're going to go for more of the same. I think they've been doing really well, especially that early onslaught. They really sort of got the game and got control of it, and they're looking to move the ball well. They're attacking with speed, and at the same time they're defending well when they need to. And Burnside have been throwing a bit at them, but they'll be comfortable with where they are and the way that they've been pressing and looking to take advantage of that. They'll be no doubt looking to add a few more goals in, but Burnside are going to come at them for sure. They've got nothing to lose, and they've been creating some good chances. So yeah, I think both teams will be relatively happy with what they've been doing, and you can't really complain out there with the sun shining down on you.
No. Exactly right. Well, of course, Otago, they've got an opportunity to force themselves into the bronze medal match. With, it's all about, first of all, the win points, and then it's about your goal average and the goal difference. So, they'll just, apart from anything else, both teams will want to finish their last round robin match in the style that they expect, with the skill level that they know, each coach knows that they've got on their team. They'll be looking for progress, which is what these wonderful secondary school tournaments do, of course. Give you an opportunity to really press forward throughout the week. And we do feel grateful through Sky Sport Next and from Hockey New Zealand that this tournament, the South Island Premiership Hockey Tournament, is able to proceed. And the whistle has gone for the resumption of the match. into the third quarter. Inside 4-1 down. Landon Webb again. It's a young 13-year-old out on that left flank for Burnside, holding his own. This is where Otago do so well. They're able to transfer defence into attack so quickly.
Yeah, they've got really good depth with their defenders when they're outletting and leave plenty of space for the midfielders to create. And as we see here, able to get the ball up the field relatively quickly.
Oh, chance again, and it's in. You cannot give them an inch, Otago boys, and they've put number 5 away.
The replay coming in and some great work down, a nice little spin, and looks as though it took a little bit of deflection, but able to get hold of it in front of goal, and it was a very tidy finish, just in front of the goalkeeper. So Otago extend their lead, just like the first half, able to get an early goal, and here again in possession, looking to build and create as they've been doing for most of the match.
It's just that space that they've got in the back through Noah Rooney, and able to distribute it. Angus Fawkes now back there. Alex Wilson for Otago boys, and it just means they're so sure of their skills and their strength to be able to get the ball through. Rooney caught that time. Burnside double tackled. And they pour on the attack again, Otago finding their man. He eludes 2 tacklers for goal number 6. Expert, look at that, from deep defence, over on the right-hand defensive line, up there into the circle and finish 6-1.
Yeah, a really well taken goal. Looks like Ned Flannery there, Daniel Tor with the through ball, and some great little skill and a nice wee. Looks like a one-handed, using his left hand to control and move it away from the keeper. And I was just going to comment, it's great to see the way that Otago boys just get the ball and move it on. Their passing is very, very good, and when you've got the space to be able to utilise and throwing it into where players aren't to running on and receive, they're doing very well, which is great. They've got some good ball carriers, but they're making sure that their passing movement, first and foremost, is what they're playing to.
And when they receive, they're so accurate. It puts so much pressure on the defenders. But this time Burnside will be able to get the ball away from the danger that Otago boys pose. On his own, doing really well. Blair Scudder, but Rooney comes away with the ball for Otago. Again, that pace, really fast work. Jacob Cumming that time able to get the ball. The shot, she scythed away, didn't it?
Yeah, it's Captain Tor again. He's a danger up front, and just looked like he hit the side pole or the side netting there, looking to add to his 3 goals already. But yeah, they're pretty lethal on attack, Otago boys, when they get that ball moving and get it up front. Pretty hard to stop.
I have really been impressed with the defensive exit for Burnside from their free hits. They've got a lot of work to do this time. But whether it's on the right side or whether it's the left side, they look very organised, very structured, and it's very accurate. But it's when it gets to the halfway line, they just seem to be sealed off from progressing further.
Yeah, I think you've got to commend the way that Burnside are playing. They're trying to play hockey. They're trying to be expansive and create. I guess in situations like this, you could really just shut up shop and
put 11 back.
Yeah,
yep.
Park the bus. But they're really starting to play and construct, which is probably giving Otago boys a little bit more space to work with. But at least 2 teams are trying to play constructive hockey, and probably just the strength and the size of Otago boys at the moment is coming out on top.
Look at that 6-1 into the third quarter. As we've mentioned, Otago boys on a mission to get into the bronze medal match. Burnside keep beavering away across the face of the goal. Blair Scott has done a couple of handy little forays into the Otago defence. This is the transition where Otago are so good at getting that ball through. Physically strong because you've got players who are year 12 or year 13, and probably really, not to take anything away from Otago, that skill level.
Yeah, and from all accounts, a large majority of them are year 12. I think they've got 3 year 13s, and one of them is their second keeper. So that bodes well for next year for them, and if they can continue to push hard and play well, then next year could be a good year for them. And I think back to the days when Otago boys had Hugo Ingles and Nick Ross, and I think Kane Russell might have been in there as well, as Burnside earned themselves a penalty corner, but I think they made it all the way to the Rankin Cup final one year. And
that was the 10-0 match against Beads that I was remembering with those boys.
Yeah, right. I think
the
only reason they got beaten was Nick Wilson probably scored a few goals there for Westlake, I think it was. But great to see Otago boys getting themselves back into, I guess, the top echelon of hockey schools in the country.
Yep, absolutely. Right. Another opportunity at PC time for Burnside. They've had one PC. What can they do with the second one? Lay off. Can they get the shot away? Sweep it, goal. Good save. Still with Burnside. And another save. Right in front of the goalkeeper. Did well. Harry McLaughlin in goal for Otago, keeping a clean sheet so far.
Looked as though it was a good save on the line from the postman there. Burnside couldn't quite get it past, but they get another shot.
Again, using the same variation, and well picked off. Front runner not happy with the decision. That was Jacob Cumming, was it? Yep. Shit, that's brave, isn't it? Whoever's going to choose to be the front running out at PC time.
Yeah, he's pretty well committed to that, and I think he thought he got a stick in the way, but whether it hit his foot or not, the umpire's given Burnside their third corner in a row, so some would say third time lucky.
Well, let's have a look. This time opting to go left, and reverse shot at goal again. Goalkeeper McLaughlin does really well. Had it covered. Once more for Burnside. Trying to move the game on with speed, and another corner. A nice little piece of dominance for Burnside. Again, not deterred by that scoreline of 6-1 down.
And it looks as though the umpires said they weren't 5 metres from the free hit, so quite rightly gives Burnside another attempt, and they haven't really looked to go direct. They've utilised the layoffs. Will we see a direct shot there? Their fourth corner in the space of about a couple of minutes.
Now it's gone outside, slightly misdirected, and pressure from the defence of the penalty corner from Otago telling on Burnside.
Yeah, it's great to see, even though the Otago boys are well in front. At penalty corner time, they don't want to concede, they don't want to give away a goal, and they've done well there to stop 4 consecutive corners.
Yeah, look at that passing skill. Oh, finds the stick too. The third pass and into the circle in the air, dangerous. they know where each other are running and able to deliver the ball, Otago. Such a good skill, the accuracy required to do that. Burnside now coming away, up and over. They've used it well. Now, what can they do with this piece of possession from Scudder? Oh, space. Put it into space and said, you run on, Jacob Cumming.
It's well tackled by Matt Wilson there, and yeah, I guess Otago boys are quite lucky that they can compete against Kings High School on a regular basis, who have, over probably the last 5 years, really turned themselves into a powerhouse, and to be able to, I'm sure they play 3 or 4 times a year against each other, and the way that Otago are playing is probably, down to the fact they get to play against a quality side regularly and get that competition, which makes their team and the Kings High team a whole lot better.
It brings the best out in anybody. I mean, I think that's what's so lucky about the Christchurch Secondary School boys and girls competition. You think how the girls have dominated, the top 6 over the last decade. Same thing, the boys now coming into it. And of course, if you're only watching this for the first time, the ball has to be touched inside the circle, but that was already not going to happen. Free out for Burnside. Again, there's that exit ball. Now it's the next one that counts. And having to backpedal and defence. It's interesting, isn't it? Otago go in spurts, and when they're on that forward roll, so expert in putting the ball in the back of the net and so dangerous.
Yeah, I wonder if it's a technical decision, they're picking and choosing their moments, or just the way that the game's sort of been playing. They're absorbing a bit of pressure from Burnside and then looking to throw it straight back at them, and when they do go, they are pretty formidable. But again, Burnside just look to continue to create and earn themselves a free hit in this centre of the field.
Oh, lucky to get that. Pushed it quite a wee way ahead of him. Some congestion, isn't there, in one area? What can they do to free up the space? Didn't even wait for the whistle then. Good tussle. Interesting discussion I heard on the sideline actually about a situation just like that. If you take the free hit quickly and you're not giving the opposition chance to get out of the 5-metre circle, you can't blow it really, can you? You choose to go and take it that quickly. Still with Burnside and looking for the corner and get it. Good little passage of play.
Yeah, there's always little opportunities where I'm sure both the boys and the girls this week have been trying to manipulate or work the umpires a little bit, but yeah, there's certain times when, especially players, they just can't disappear. It's one of those things they can't. So if you want to play the game quickly, it's great, but you've got to understand that there might be people in the way and work around them. As we see another penalty corner from Burnside, we'll see what they've got.
Again, the layoff and deflection. Oh, that's good defending. They're reading it. I think, once you might have had a strike at the top, maybe.
Yeah, they've had a few and they haven't really looked to go straight. And not many of them have actually tested out the keeper, maybe only a couple. So, yeah, you might think there could be a straight one coming if they can earn themselves another one, as they put a dangerous ball in right on quarter time.
So a couple more added since half-time for Otago boys. 4-1 it was at half-time. It's now 6-1 as they go in for a 2-minute break before they head into the final quarter. Otago boys 6, Burnside High 1.
It's good to see the spectators enjoying the hockey, and great that we've been able to have them on the sidelines. I was listening into the game earlier, and there seemed to be plenty of Craighead fans, supporters. He's making plenty of noise as goals were going in.
I think, they'd obviously witnessed the earlier match in the year when Craighead had gone down 2-1 to Columba College. And for them to grab those early 2 goals, but then to win handsomely by 4-1 turnaround. They played well.
It would be great to see Craighead in the Canterbury competition like Timaru have. It's worked so well for them. I think this is their 4th year in the top flight, and they happened to come out on top last year. And great for the Christchurch schools to be able to play someone else, but I think they'd earned themselves the right to play in Fed Cup this year, so they'll be there next year. So not sure if that'll happen, but it's good to see them performing well at this tournament, and great that the Timaru schools are continuing to do well. And there's plenty of talent down there, as we know. They seem to find their way up here for university or work, but whatever South Canterbury's doing, it's working well.
But you wouldn't want to take them out of their competition, though, would you? Because that would leave Timaru a bit short if they don't have an exemplar to follow.
Yeah, I think they play in the club competition, so
right. Okay.
It's worked well for Timaru in that they can play club and school.
Sure.
So the players aren't lost to the Timaru competition, but just changes it a little bit. And there's never the right and wrong way. It's just good for them to play schools where they don't have the luxury of the schools that Christchurch do and Dunedin.
Oh, yep. That's a fair call. Just couldn't stop himself in time. Okay. So the 4th quarter has resumed. A rare loose pass from Otago. Haven't seen that happen much at all. Certainly they've not taken their free outs very quickly. Burnside quite happy just to set this structure up, which has worked well for them. This time opting for the big drive up that left flank. Noah Rooney to resume for Otago. Look at that. Who needs a midfield?
Yeah, they're searching long ball, bit of space, and found a high striker again.
Oh, this will be cards. There hasn't been much of that, is there? Just a tackle.
First card of the game. Looks like Jacob Cummins is going to have 2 minutes on the sideline just to gather his thoughts.
Little game within a game then. Who was going to win it? Oh, they pour forward. Can he? Too quick. Ball just rebounding off the stick too far. Now let's see what Otago do in the way they set it up. It happens so quickly. Shot at goal. Oh, look at the positioning though of the players. They're all in the right spot. They had someone on the spot. They had someone on the right-hand post.
Yeah, and a bit of an explosive carry there. Looks like Angus Fawkes had worked his way from the back up to the front and tried to get that shot away and just went past the post and couldn't quite get a touch in.
Burnside, and they're attacking 22. Making progress, albeit a little slowly. Oh, lovely soft hands eventually found its way. Not before a little foot was involved. The Burnside players holding their players better, you know, not giving them the space. But as we know, Otago can turn the speed and turn the game notches up.
Yeah, the Burnside team are still looking to defend well, and when they can get the opportunity to attack, they are. But yeah, just that size and the strength of the Otago boys team, they can carry at speed, they can utilise a strong pass as they look to attack again, but well cut out by Will Shand. He's been very good for Burnside today. Look to create, he's cut them out at the defensive end.
Look at the speed. Players in nearly the right place. Oh, bring the ball up that left flank. What can they do with it now? They've done well to get the ball here, Burnside. Can they get into that circle? Get the shot away. Long corner.
You see the St Bede's College team just coming in. A big game for them.
Big game.
A little bit later, must-win game to
Yep.
give them a chance to make the final. So
There's a couple of big games, aren't there, on other turfs? Oh, some great work. Look at that right hand, one hand. Love the spontaneity, the skills. Need to have the strength to go with it. I think that's the other thing, you know, in boys hockey particularly, schoolboys hockey, is the non-traditional players that are attracted to play it as well, who haven't had a background in it. Shot, and it's their spontaneous skills that they bring. A little, you know, not, you wouldn't call them, you know, conformists or anything, but it adds another element to the game.
yeah, you get a lot of players who carry the ball in a weird position, and
Yeah.
it's not illegal. They just do it differently because that's natural for them. And for your traditional hockey player, it's harder for them to tackle because they're not used to that. So it does add an extra element, which is good, and it's what you want because it actually tests out those players who have played the game for, say, 5-10 years of growing up playing it, and then you come across a rugby player or a football player who just does things differently. You get the odd left-handed hockey player who just does it because it's natural, and yeah, it's a good element to have. And even if they don't continue playing the game, they've had the opportunity to play it, and
Yeah.
they've tested out
Yep.
the those that might continue on.
I think it probably happens a bit more, I could be wrong, more in the boys hockey. Again, always got a lone striker up there, haven't they? Ferreting around for a bit of possession. And mopped up. Just over 7 minutes left in the match. A good touch. They've got better and better Burnside as the match has gone on, but there's still a demanding test for them because we know the pressure that Otago can pour on them.
Yeah, again, Will Shand working really hard at the defensive end for Burnside. He's sort of been everywhere today, at the back, through the midfield and up front as well. Scored a nice goal, so...
Oh, shot at goal, and again, look, just what we talked about, from absolutely nothing because they practice it so hard. The 7th goal for Otago has found the back of the net.
Yeah, another goal there to Ned Flannery, and a great little ball and a great receive onto the reverse stick, and those are hard ones to stop. Well executed there from Flannery. Scores his second of the match and extends the lead to 7-1.
Great hockey name, Flannery, especially in women's hockey. Marie, Paula. But again, ever present, looking for the opportunity. And look, if you're looking at grading the Burnside team and what they were able to get in that third quarter, and while they haven't converted, they've added to the game.
Yeah, I think the beauty of what they're trying to do out there is really construct and build up. Their defensive systems are, I guess, allowing Otago a bit of space because they're still trying to press high and still trying to make a game of it, which is good. And yeah, they've created a number of chances themselves. We saw a whole lot of PCs for them, so it's good. They've played well, and Otago boys have just seemed to be able to be in the right place at the right time a little bit more than them.
Yeah, well, that just comes down to superior skills, I think, and athleticism, just the maturity, physical, will make a big difference for these young players in the Burnside team. And even if you're little, you can still, and I'm meaning shorter in stature, you can still be an effective hockey player. You don't have to always have the physicality either, because you can execute your skill.
Yeah, and there's a lot of the game that's played in a fast-paced, open manner, but there's also the real need for tight skills and working in confined spaces, which doesn't matter what size you are, how big or small, you can utilise your skills really well. And some of these Burnside players who are probably experiencing their first school hockey tournament can do that and be better for it heading into the later seasons.
Right, free hit for the defence. And there's another card for the tackle. Green card.
And now the game's in this pool, which is working out who's going to be playing off for what. Looks as though Christ College got a point against Southland boys, so that'll lock them into the bronze medal playoff. So Otago boys will miss out by a point, which is tough. I know in their game against Christ College they conceded a stroke with a couple of minutes to go, and Christ got the win there. So Kings High School in front of St Andrews College 4-1 at the moment, so they'll play off in the gold medal match tomorrow, and Christ in the bronze medal, and Otago boys look as though they'll play off for 5th and 6th, which is not too bad for them, and as I said, pretty close to getting into that bronze medal playoff.
Well, when you think of how they started in that game against St Andrews yesterday, I was watching that game, and then they were down 2-0 and came back and won that. And that, I'm sure that gave them a heap of confidence coming into this game.
Yeah, I suppose going 2-0 down and claiming victory is a good sign of where the team's at. You know, plenty of belief in the side, plenty of skill, and we've seen that on display this afternoon, or this morning and this afternoon. It's great to see.
Otago again. They certainly know where that circle is. Is that coming? Younger brother of Jacob. Again, look at the skill level. Look at that. Soft hands. Couldn't get it where he wanted it in the end, but he tried hard. You've got to admire that. A couple of minutes to go in the match.
Looks like Andrew Bryden's the TO over on the sideline, just making sure the boys substitute correctly and don't send on the player when they're not needed. So good to see Bryden giving back, and plenty of umpiring duties he does throughout the year, and now a technical officer, I think it's called, technical official. Crucial parts of the game to enable it to be played as Otago look to attack in these final few minutes, but Burnside do well to cut it out.
Well, they're keeping on playing as well, aren't they? They're not giving up. They might be down 7-1 on that score sheet, but they've had periods of play where they've absorbed, and not only just absorbed, but they've actually gone up forced. Just haven't been able to finish off as much as they would have liked. And especially the young players to the fore, Burnside. Otago in the right place again. What a stunning little touch. And making it goal number 8. We talked about them being in the right place, right in the middle.
And a tighter little finish. Looks as though that was Robbie McCaw scoring the 8th and final goal right on the hooter for Otago boys. Puts them to an 8-1 victory, and a very good performance from them. But Burnside High, you can't fault their attitude and their performance today, and no doubt they'll look forward to playing one more game tomorrow.
They will indeed. Otago boys superior over Burnside in the goal scoring stakes. They have won 8-1.